Hi, I'm here with this week's happiness strategy. I'll be reading aloud our weekly featured article. As with most of my articles, I include simple to follow tips and strategies for having more happiness, and every week is a different theme. I share a featured article every week on empowered living on my website, and I also share my writing out on Thrive Global. I share both the article, a video, as well as some other simple tips and strategies every week to my list called M's Weekly Inspiration. And if you'd like to sign up to receive those free notes, you can do so by following the link that I'll share directly below this video. I'll also share the direct link to the article in case you want to have a read through on your own later. So this week, this article I wrote just over a year ago, but it still definitely applies today. And it's called 3 Ways to See the Best in Others and Why You Should. Do you tend to see the best in others, or are you more of a skeptic? Whether you're a serial optimist or pessimist, there is nobody else exactly like you, and that's awesome. Having a unique lens means you'll also come across others whose perspective in life is quite different than your own. Sometimes our differences create minor annoyances. Other times they lead to major disagreements. Our differences can also open our hearts and expand our horizons. It all comes down to a choice. At the end of the day, everyone has darkness and light. Nobody is perfect, and yet we are all designed to perfection. When we realize everyone has a mix of characteristics that could be viewed as good or bad, it becomes easier to lighten up on others around us. When we choose to see others in their best light, we receive the benefit from witnessing and experiencing them in an uplifting way. It feels good to see the good in others. Here are 3 strategies I draw on to see the best in other people and situations around me. If they resonate, give them a try. Perhaps they will help you see the best in others and the bright side of your amazing life. Number 1. Focus on the 3 things. Our thoughts and beliefs are powerful. We use them to shape our perspective and worldview. When we are critical and judgmental of others, those thoughts and judgments become part of our experience and journey. When we believe other people are bad, wrong, evil, etc., we can easily continue to collect evidence to back up our theory. Without changing our perspective, we continue experiencing others in their darkness. But as the saying goes, don't always believe what you think. We can harness the power of our focus and thoughts to see the good in others, to notice the shared humanity around us. One way to see the best in others is to actually look for it. Sounds simple enough, and that's because it is. See how your view transforms when you choose to look for 3 reasons why someone you're criticizing is actually not so bad. Don't just find 1 reason. Amplify your experience by finding 3 reasons. See how your experience changes when you decide to see the same person in their best light. It's especially powerful to think of their 3 redeeming qualities before you connect with them or during a challenging conversation. Number 2, look for commonalities. This comes back to the idea we are all unique and we all have the power of perspective. We can easily use our power to see our differences or to see how we are the same. We are all human, that much is certain. If you're struggling to find common ground with someone you're having challenges with, remember your shared humanity. This can be a fantastic starting place. Finding common ground doesn't mean you have to agree with others or like everything about them. You simply get to see there are others who experience life in a different light than you, and that's okay. It doesn't make them bad or worse than anyone else. It makes them human, just like you. When we choose to see one another through our shared humanity, we will help create a world with more understanding, compassion, and peace. And number 3, a little humor goes a long way. There is a reason why witnessing a smile or hearing the sound of laughter is universally understood. It's the language of happiness and the underlying spirit of humanity. Joy. If you want to witness the truth and light in someone else, catch them when they are smiling or laughing and hold on to that. The world needs more lightness and humor to counterbalance all that is heavy and dark. Humor is contagious. The more you share your humor with others, the more likely you'll witness them in their best light. So go ahead, tell a funny joke, share your smile, and spread your laughter as much as possible. If in doubt, follow Monty Python's Bright Side of Life lyrics. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When we feel good, it's so much easier to see the best in others. How might you choose to see the best in others around you today? How might you look on the bright side of your life? So that's this week's article, 3 Ways to See the Best in Others and Why You Should. And again, I've included the link to the article below this video if you want to have a read through. And I just invite you to consider the ideas that I've presented here. They're just simple mindset kind of tweaks to just try on a different perspective. And if you feel challenged by someone or you feel yourself judging somebody else, that's a normal human condition. We all judge and we all, create stories through our own unique lens and our own perspective and our own values and all of that. And it's not to be hard on ourselves or to, judge ourselves for judging, but just to begin noticing how you feel when you're around other people. And if you find yourself sort of picking apart people or noticing their negative characteristics more and more, usually that's a sign that there is room to try on a different perspective, because we all do have lightness and darkness within us. And generally, I know this is true in my life, when I am judging somebody else or picking them apart or just sort of focusing in on what I don't like about them, it's generally a reflection of something that I don't like about myself. And while I'm feeling that way about judging somebody else, I'm experiencing that trait that I'm even judging about another person. So it's almost like reliving in the moment those sort of negative judgments and ideas that we might have about someone else. We're actually sort of putting that on as a mask and experiencing that ourselves. So just remember next time, because it doesn't feel good to judge other people or to pick them apart. And so use that feeling inside of your body of not feeling good as a cue that perhaps there is room to try on a different perspective. And, just try on the tips that, if they resonate, that I've shared today, just about sort of retraining your focus, looking at the 3 things that you do enjoy about somebody else. And especially if you're going into a heated discussion with them, or you find yourself really defensive or stuck in a story, just shelf that and see what changes if you just focus in on what you really do appreciate about the person before you, and your shared humanity, and just see how that changes. Because when you're having that experience and viewing somebody before you through that lens, that's also how you're coming across too, towards them. And generally you get to experience more of another person in their light when you are presenting yourself to them in your light. But when we are judging and we are critical and we're kind of in that negative mindset, we're kind of presenting ourselves in our own dark, and that can trigger other people's dark, and then we just keep on continuing the same cycle of proving to ourselves and creating that evidence of why it is we don't like someone. But we can flip that and choose to see the light and to create that light. And it can be a really, really powerful cycle to get stuck in, as opposed to the real critical negative cycle. So if any of this resonates, I do invite you to try it on. And as always, I hope that you have an amazing week, and I look forward to connecting again soon. Thank you.